Okay, so just like the nose, let's have a, oh, just like the, what did we call ears? Let's have a look at the nose as well. So noses come in all sorts of shape and sizes. You can see that some noses they bend forward, some noses they bend backwards, some noses they are relatively straight. This one has a bump, but this one is a relatively straight nose. You can see that this one bends down. This one is super round. I didn't mean to rhyme that, but it did. And this one is round as well. Here's the thing. I always used to think, why does every sculptor uses Henry Cavill as an example for the nose to sculpt? And that is because he represents these cartilages super well. He has the perfect nose to study actually. So you can see he has, so our nose basically has these cartilages. And I don't know why, but yeah, looking at this, it makes me uncomfortable. It's like when someone tells you, "Hey, I'll hang you by the balls," and then you feel the pain between your legs. Yeah, it just feels something like that in the nose. When I look at this, I feel like the nose is super fragile. It's gonna break. Yeah, it's a super weird feeling for me. So yeah, they have cartilages, and you can really see it over here. Now I just this is what's going on in my head. I'm thinking someone's puts his finger and moves his nose like this, it's gonna break. So yeah, it's just a very uncomfortable feeling for me. So yeah, we're gonna learn how to make a generic nose, and then yeah, you can morph into anything. So this is what I was talking about. There is a ton of information out there. It's super overwhelming. You don't actually know what to do. So just learn the generic stuff, and then it's super easy. I will show you how you can morph them into different shapes. I will show you. So yeah, for now, let's just study the generic shapes. I noticed that I'm speaking so yeah a lot throughout this course. I don't know why. Okay, so let's go to our blend file. Yeah, let's minimize this. And let's just try to capture a similar nose to Henry Cavill. Not exactly, but a similar nose. Also, yeah, one thing I wanted you to notice. Did I save that image? This part of the nose, it's quite deep. So if you look at me, you can actually put touch the back part of your nostril. You can touch it behind. So you can actually touch over here. Yeah. So this part is quite deep. So considering that, let me move to my graphic tablet again. So the way we're gonna make the nose is we're gonna dig this area. And we're gonna dig this area a lot because like I showed you, this area is quite deep. You can actually touch the behind of your nostrils. So just dig this in, try to make the nostril shape. And you'll start to get something like this. So just dig this in, dig, and then smooth it out on the outside. That way you're gonna get this shape. Okay. So just dig this part really in. Now you wanna make this fold. So let me show you this fold. This is called the nasal labia fold. This one. And it's really prominent in older guys, in mature guys, in fat guys. So if you really pronounce this, it's going to look very, your character is going to look very old, like this one. And if you keep it smooth, if you keep it very gentle, your character is going to represent youthness. It's going to look very young. Okay. So we don't want to go extreme with this. Just roughly draw this nasal labia fold and then smooth it out. And an important thing to notice for the nostril is I wanted to show you. Let me show you. Is that the nostril, it isn't actually flat. It's not flat like this. Okay. It actually has a rim outside. So you can see that this has a rim. The nostril doesn't touch the mouth area. So it actually has a rim outside. So you can see this rim. Okay. And also another thing I wanted to show you was that the nostril, it sort of spirals. Okay. It's not an exact hole, a very clean hole. I will show you how you can make a good nostril. So yeah, just pay attention over here. And Yeah, let's make the nostril. You can also use the crease brush to tighten this a bit if you want, but we don't need that much detail yet. From the bottom, we want to make sure that we have good shape. We have a bit of a puffiness for the nostril because we're going to make the hole, the nostril hole, and just move this in a bit. Okay, so just try to get this shape that I am making over here. Let's use the clay strips brush. Let's push this in a bit. And let's make the nostril. So I think we need to add a bit more detail for the nose. So just add a bit more detail and then remesh. Yeah, if you're in bottom view, then just keep in mind that whenever you press R, you won't see the remesh grid because it actually spawns beneath your grid, beneath your model. So remesh from the front, it's much easier to see. Okay, let's make the nostrils now. So the nostrils, they're actually like bean. So imagine this bean shape. Okay, it's not a perfect circle. It's not a perfect oval. It's almost like a bean. And what you want to keep in mind is that you don't make this rim too thin. So it should have some thickness. It should have almost equal thickness throughout. So just make the nostril and you can see that I'm trying to make a bean shape. And also I'm not making this area flat. Okay, just make this bean shape. Then smooth a bit and then remesh. And then you can dig it in a bit more. Okay, so we have the basic shape of the nose. Let's use the crease brush. And you don't want to go super pronounced with the nostril. Just crease it a bit and then smooth. You want to crease this. Okay, this part is going to be very sharp. You want to crease this a lot. Okay, so we can actually see that we have some space behind the nostril as well that I was demonstrating you by touching my own nose. You can touch your nose if you want to. And then let's look at Henry's nose. So if you notice, the nose is narrowest at the top. It widens out and then comes back in, and then we have the nasal cartridge. So this cartridge is very prominent, and it is the uncomfortable image again. This one. And you can actually see, I saved a reference. Let me find it. Yeah, you can see that this makes a very prominent shape. Okay, so that is what we want to capture. So use the scrape brush and just make this area flat. Okay, just add these two planes and then use the move brush. Go to the front view. Let's try to make this shape that Henry has. So basically the nose is narrowest at the top. It's a bit wide in the middle and then it becomes narrow again. And we want to have this nasal cartridge. So just pull this out a bit. And that is your generic nose. Also, what you can do is optional. You can split it in the center. And also what you can try to do is follow the nasal cartridge shape. So from the nostril, you go up, you come back down, then you also have this shape. And then when you add these details, just gently smooth them. What it's going to do is going to hint these features. And also another common mistake that would be that the nose, it's very, yeah, it just comes out so suddenly. It's like you're extruding the nose out. And a very interesting analogy that I learned from someone in my Discord server was that think of this as a cliff, not a, wait, let me check so that I don't mess this up. Yeah, so basically inside my Discord community, you should join as well. I'll leave the link in the notes. Yeah, in the notes text file. So you can join the Discord community through there. And here you can see the example that the nose was pretty sharp. It just comes out so suddenly. It's very sharp. And then she gave this analogy that think of it as a slope, not a cliff. And that is actually very a good way to put it. So yeah, what you want to do is use the clay strips brush and then add a bit of a meat over here. So this part is going to have some fat and it's going to gradually blend along this area. Okay, so it's not going to be super sharp. And this looks really, really nice. Okay, what you can do over here is use the clay strips brush and then flatten this area temporarily. I told you this is not flat. And also, this is how we're going to make the spiral shape that I told you about. So you flatten this area and then you just simply pull this part out. Okay, you sculpt over here and then you connect it to this part of the nostril. And when you just gently smooth it, you're going to see that you start to get the spiral shape that I told you. So you can see the spiral. Okay, that is actually how the nose is. We will come back to this again once we add more detail. So for now, this looks really nice. Let's go to the side view. Let's check a few things. Okay, this doesn't look nice from the side view. Let's use the draw sharp brush. Let's push this in. Let's smooth it out. Let me see if I have a side view reference of Henry. I do not. Let's look at another side reference. Okay, so let's just pull this in a bit. And also this sort of dips in, it curves down. And yeah, it looks good when you curve it down. So let's just smooth this and we'll come back to this once we have more detail. Or maybe we can just do it right now. Let's remesh once. Yeah, I think this looks pretty okay now. And just let me roughly show you. So once you have this shape, let's hide these. Let's hide these. So once you have this shape, you see you can always make it crooked, come down like this, or you can curve it in like this girl has. So just make it into a curve, make this area a bit more puffy, move it up. So see, once you have a generic nose, you can actually morph it into anything. Just smooth this a bit. So you have this nose, we have the nose that we just made. And some people, I noticed this in Kratos. So people with the Greek background, their nose actually dips in like this. It's almost like an arrow pointing down. It's a pretty interesting nose. See, so you can make noses of all shapes and sizes once you have a generic nose. So yeah, this nose is good for now. Let's proceed with the next video. Just practice this, try to get this shape, and click on the next video. I'll see you there.